week 24 of the EPL. We're just going to look at two games this weekend. Of course, the whole emphasis this week is on the AFCON final, the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. So, guys, you are welcome to the show. Tottenham is playing at home against Brighton. Tottenham is fifth on the table, 44 points, 7 points are deep on the top of Liverpool, who are 51. And Brighton is 38 on the table, 35 points. One of the teams I think have not been consistent as we expected them to be this season is Brighton. They are coming to the Tottenham Stadium this weekend. And for me, it's going to be a very interesting battle, a game between two teams, two coaches who believe in attacking and expansive football, who like flamboyance, who like possession, who like to go forward with the ball. So I think it's going to be a game of who makes less mistake defensively that will carry the day. A little start between these two games. The last 5 games for these two teams, Tottenham has only won 2. They have drawn 2 and lost 1, while Brighton won 3, drew 1, and lost 1, which means Brighton is a better team in terms of form as at this weekend. Their probability to score goals, Tottenham has a higher SG of 2.1 against Brighton of 1.8. Then possession so far, the average possession this season has been 61.9 for Brighton and 60 for Tottenham. Goals scored, Tottenham has scored 49 goals this season and Brighton has scored 42. And defensively, Tottenham is a little better, 35 goals conceded and 38 conceded for Brighton. Ugo, these are two teams that like to dominate their games. Who do you think will dominate in this game?
It's going to be quite interesting. I look forward to the game. Like you said, these are two possession-based teams that perhaps don't pay as much attention to defense as one would think. The only advantage I believe Tottenham will have over Brighton is the quality of defenders that Tottenham have. This tall defender that they have is very good. So Tottenham seem to me like more secure at the back, though Lewis Dunk will have something to say about that for Brighton because he's been in great form this season. I look forward to a beautiful game. It's going to definitely be an open game. Tottenham, if they do their usual high line, will struggle. In spite of the pace of their defenders, Brighton know how to use space, and Mitoma is back. Mitoma trained with the rest of the squad this week. They've been missing him, and they've been getting decent results even in his absence. So it's going to be a nice game. I would predict maybe a 2-2 draw for this game.
Nimi, who do you think is going to be worse off defensively in this game? These are two teams that like to push forward, though in terms of personnel, like Ugu mentioned, it looked like Tottenham have a better personnel defensively than, but as a team, I don't know. I think they pushed forward more than Brighton. Who do you think? Because for me in this game, I think whoever comes top defensively wins the game because these are two teams that like going forward. Who do you expect to be a little bit more disciplined and give away lesser chances in this game?
More discipline. I expect Tottenham to win this game. Brighton has been inconsistent. To be honest with you, I've not been impressed with, when the season.
I hope you heard in the last 5 games, Brighton has won 3, lost 1, and drew 1. Tottenham has won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1.
I understand that. Son will be back. Brighton, to me personally, I've not been impressed. Based on the hype from when the season started. The Zerbi even the Zerbi was being scouted to come and coach Houston Green Eagles based on how good he was, So we were. I know Ugu was going and even at the point I was like, is Ugu, what's going on with Ugu and this Zerbi? The way he was going in, but now look at it. It's just it's EPL don't hit him. So I think I expect Tottenham to win this game. to win this game. So it will be a straight win. It will be a straight win for Tottenham. At least a 2-0, 3-1 victory for Tottenham.
Okay, Jude, I don't know if you agree with me, but my question for you is the Richarlison has been a huge disappointment for Tottenham, but all of a sudden this season, I think he has 8 goals in 9 or 8 goals in 7 right now. Do you think this is he has found the scoring boots, or is this a fluke? Do you think he might be a deciding factor in this game for Tottenham?
Yeah, on a day, Richarlison can be, very good striker for his team. On a good day, he can make good returns. But it was very good for you to have pointed out to the current form of Brighton, which Nimi seemed to be missing. We also see that in the last 5 games, Brighton has scored about 13 goals. So that is not a team you have to joke with compared to about 5 or 6 that Tottenham has scored in the same amount of games. So they are a team that loves to go forward, and they seem to have found a considerable amount of form in their game recently. So it's not going to be an easy one for Tottenham, and don't be surprised if Brighton will be able to nick this one. I will support them, and I know they have what it takes to shock Tottenham as it is currently.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on this one. It's going to be an interesting game to watch, just like Ugum mentioned. I don't think I will miss this game this weekend. It's really going to. This is going to be one of the advertising games for EPL that shows why EPL is dogged the best league in the world. These are not even 2 teams in the top 4, and it promises to going to be a very interesting game. And I expect that as well. I agree with what you guys have said in terms of prediction. I won't be surprised if Brighton wins, but the kind of burst that Tottenham have used to start games this season, if they can replicate that in the first 45 minutes, yes, nothing will be a surprise in the game. West Ham is playing at home against Arsenal. Of course, first leg of this fixture, Arsenal lost 2-0 at the Emirates, which shocked a lot of people. At the time, the team was flying and people expected Arsenal to run over West Ham. And that one, we know how it ended. Arsenal now is on a run of 3 wins, 3 straight wins. Of course, if you're going by 5 games, there's 3 in 5, having lost the previous 2. And they just beat Liverpool comprehensively last weekend. Many have said that if they fail to win West Ham this weekend, that nullifies the gains of beating Liverpool last weekend. I don't know how you get a little start between these 2 teams. Of course, Arsenal is third on the table, while West Ham is 7th. Arsenal is on 49 points, West Ham 36 points. That is about 7 points, about 15 points behind between the 2 of them. West Ham have 0 win in the last 5 games. They drew 3 and lost 2. Arsenal, on the other hand, the last 5, they have won 3 and lost 2, and 3 wins in the last 3. So this shows a hot form for a team for Arsenal. On the other hand, if you look at the SG, Arsenal has a 2.0 SG, while West Ham has 1.6. Goals, Arsenal has scored 47 goals, and they're joint top defensively in the league, best defense in the league, conceding 22 goals all through the season. So this one on paper kind of looks like it's going to be one-sided, but being at home, West Ham, and having been able to find a formula to beat Arsenal at the Emirates in the first leg is going to be, for me, a tricky one for Arsenal, though I still expect them to come home with the 3 points. I think Arteta would have learned his lessons. He hardly repeats mistakes. I think whatever made Arsenal to lose the first leg, this is a chance for them to rectify it and come back with the 3 points. Ugum, is this a must-win for Arsenal? I know you have taken a distance from a lot of Arsenal fans who are focusing on this game as against relishing the fun of winning against Liverpool, who says if Arsenal does not win this weekend, then what they did last weekend is, comes to nothing. Do you see this as a must-win for Arsenal? This is what it feels from now to the end of the season for almost all the games.
Yes, you're right. Spot on. The person that I took exception to, I didn't take exception to what they said. I took exception to the timing of it. Right. So yes, it's a must win. It's a must win. All the games from now to the end of the season, if Arsenal want to win the league, they have to win all of them, because we can see that City are already in the mode. There's 9 wins on the trot for them. They are ready to win whatever is left of the season. They're ready to win every game. So if you want to match up to them and you have, the plan or the aim to win the league, you've got to win all your games. So yes, playing against West Ham, especially after what Arsenal has been through in the hands of West Ham this season. We've lost 2 important games to them already. So Arsenal have to be up for it and do their best and try and exert a level of revenge against a team that has frustrated them largely so far this season. So yes, I'll call it a must-win game.
Yeah, just coming from winless 5. Winless 5 games to win 3 on the spin. Arsenal is a team on form right now. What do you think has changed for the team? That's one. The second leg of that question is, like Ugun pointed out, Arsenal has lost two important games to West Ham. Do you think Jorginho, having seen what he did against Liverpool, can be a factor that will change that luck for Arsenal against West Ham?
Yeah, certainly. For me, the team has to come together. The team has to come together. I don't really know how to talk about Arsenal again sometimes, not because they don't play good football, they do, but the problem still remains the problem. And a good day, Arsenal can win anything, but winning the championship and having let's look at something. Jorginho is a good player, no doubt about that. Jorginho and Rice in that middle, gives a lot of spine. Both defensively and going forward to the team. Nobody can comfort Rice in all the cleanups that he did in that game against Liverpool. He put in quite a shift in that game, and they were very, very decent cleanups that he did. Yes, they can do better. And there is no excuse not winning that game against West Ham. Not winning that game against West Ham would be a massive failure, and it would be another another proof that they are not in the frame to win the Premiership. Let me tell you something. Like I always been saying, look at Liverpool, that is on top of the league. Look at Man City that has a game in hand, and if they win that game, they will go top. I think so. These 2 teams have strikers, who are on double figures in the league. Arsenal highest goal scorer is on 8 goals. Man City's highest goal scorer is on 18 goals. Liverpool highest goal scorer is on 16 goals. Hey. I mean, and the second highest goal scorer in these 2 teams are on the same 8 goals with Arsenal highest goal scorer.
Yeah, but Jude, there's another angle to
Hold
this.
on, now let me finish. I keep saying.
Finish.
No, I like Arsenal.
Finish.
Yeah, Arsenal is not far from them. That's what you will say. But you see, when the chips are down and when you have the running, you need these players who you can bank on to score you these goals. That is where it matters. You can see, don't be surprised now on Sunday. Arsenal might go to West Ham and struggle to get a point. And it is no longer easy to gain back a point at this period of the season. It's no longer easy. Yes, you won Liverpool. You understand? And then if you go to West Ham and you just go grab a point from West Ham, how has that helped you? You get the point. So I'll keep still saying it. Arsenal is deficient in a very crucial part of this game to contend to win this title. Arsenal has got no striker.
Yeah, I'm not trying to counter. You're not defending it now.
And
of course, I would love Arsenal to sign a striker. But I want to tell you something.
It diminishes the chances of Arsenal, in the mode of the players that they have. There's a team that will be playing in this formation that Arsenal is playing. And I'll tell you that team can still win something. But, I mean, let's look at something.
Okay. Let me tell you something.
Let me. No, just before I wrap up, let me show you, give you a very simple example. In 2022, Madrid won Man City. Do you understand?
Benzema, of course.
Knocked them out and won the Champions League. Yeah. The next season, Pep never allowed that to happen again. It's the same players. But they grew in, they grew in, what would I say, psychologically, they were not jaded, they were not, there's a level of, assimilation they had in the Champions League. And knew that they didn't lose to Madrid because Madrid was a team of wizards or anything. But Madrid was a team that had more experience, There's something that Madrid had, which Manchester had to go and look for. And they looked for it not in the room of tactics majorly, but in the room of psychology.
Okay, so let me counter those two things. First of all, in terms of the striker you talked about, I want Arsenal to have.
That's how you go there at the counter. The season go end. You don't go still win this league.
I want Arsenal to have a striker that can score goals, obviously. But when you talk about the goals scored by the main striker for City and Arsenal, the highest goal scorer for Arsenal, if you go to the table and check the goal difference, is almost the same. So that means those goals, probably somebody scores 6 goals in one game. It doesn't really matter. What matters is how many winning goals do you need to win your games. So Arsenal is third on the table. Goal difference between them and City and Liverpool, I think it's about 2 or 3 goals. So which tells you that there's also somewhere that Arsenal is more efficient than these two teams. Because if their highest goal scorer is having 10 goals different gap between them and the highest goal scorer for Arsenal, and on the table they are close in terms of goal difference. That means there's a place also Arsenal is strong. So for me, you don't have to focus on what you don't have. You need to focus on what your strength is. What has got you inside this, in the mix of this title challenge. Talking about Liverpool, sometimes I think back, I say, why is all this noise about Liverpool and Klopp? Klopp has only won the league once with all this noise, just once. And the reason is because he was competing against a team that is coached by Guardiola with limitless resources. I guarantee you, if Arteta, this Arsenal was not in this regime, they would have won the league by now, last season. So let's not forget some of these factors. Klopp has succeeded in Liverpool, but he has only won the league once in 8 seasons. This is the 8th season, or if not 9. And yes, he won Champions League. That's it. That's in terms of trophy. The rest is maybe Carling Cup, and I'm not even sure he won the FA Cup. Going to this Madrid you're talking about, what happened to what City did last season that made them to win the league was they surrendered possession, kind of. Unlike before, they wanted to control the game from beginning to the end. But last season, if you remember, in Champions League, Pep kind of was a little bit more pragmatic than flamboyant. And that's what got them across the line. This season, Arteta has done the same with Arsenal. And that's why a lot of people are complaining about the team. People want Arsenal to fly, just like the Super Eagles, to fly across every team. But this season, they're a little bit more pragmatic. If you go to the point tally, last season and this season, at this point, it's almost the same. It's almost the same, if not the same. I'm not checking last week, it was just 2 points or a point difference. So I don't think there's anything do I want Arsenal to have a striker that is a lethal? Yes, I will. I do. But that will also give away something for the team if you do that, because that player is going to be focused on just scoring goals. And there's a part of the team or structure or setup of the team that will also suffer. So it depends on which one comes to work better. So I'm not against you, but at the same time, I'm just trying to point out that there's a place also for the way the team is playing right now. And it doesn't really, it doesn't it's not a deficiency, but I think they should be a little bit more efficient. Ubum, like you said, I was looking at the stats as well. It's also worthy of note that Jarvin Bowen has 11 goals, highest goal scorer for West Ham, even though they're languishing in the 7th position. And Bukayo Saka is highest goal scorer for Arsenal, 8 goals. Bowen, as we know, will be locking his exploits against Zinchenko if he's fit. I hope that was his name, Tomiyasu is fit enough to start that game. Do you see this as an area that Arsenal has to put some serious concentration on to stop West Ham? Because this guy too was part of the reason why West Ham have won Arsenal the last 2 games. You're mute.
Mohamed Kudus is the most important player for West Ham. Everything offensively for them, in the absence of Lucas Paqueta, runs through Kudus. And Kudus is a worthy player. I would say if Arsenal wants to nullify West Ham, I would put most of my concentration on Kudus, because he's the person that will make the passes that Bowen will run into. So Bowen, of course, is a great player, very good forward, makes really good timely runs and scores goals. So he's a player to watch. But if I were to recommend somebody to watch, I would recommend we watch, put extra eyes and perhaps extra legs around Kudus. And if Tomiyasu plays the game, I trust him to be able to do that job.
Okay, Choma, sorry we lost you. Your connection was bad in a few minutes. You're back. We're looking at Arsenal traveling to the London Stadium against West Ham. Many have said this is a game that Arsenal must win. Otherwise, what they did last weekend against Liverpool will come to nothing. I don't know if you agree with that. And what is your overall thought about that game? Do you think Arsenal will win this one? And if they are going to win, what do they need to do to ensure that they come home with the 3 points?
I think that whole line of if we don't win West Ham, what we did against Liverpool would just be, I don't think anybody should believe that. Liverpool was a separate game and we brought our A game and we played that football like stars. So for West Ham, I mean, I think we've all highlighted, especially Boom. Every time I think of West Ham, I think about Lucas, Paqueta, Bowen. Funnily enough, Kudus is like the 3rd person on my mind. But now that Lucas is not going to be there, and Bowen is a fine player. He knows when to run. He knows where to run from. He scares me every time he's on the ball. It's not even that, you understand, but where he is, he just does too much and he just does it to win. So for me, West Ham, and because they've been very funny, their fans, there was, I think the last game, they were saying stuff about Rice and stuff like that. So I hope that for this game, he brings his A game as always, keeps his head up and showed as always where it's supposed to be, by the way. So I think we're going to win this one because we're not going to let them get away with what they've been getting away with.
As the final word, what's your prediction for this game? Do you think Arsenal has what it takes to let West Ham and come home with the 3 points in this game?
Yeah, I believe Arteta would be very. I believe Arteta will not want to make that mistake because he more than anybody knows the importance of winning that game, and in fact, every other game from here on, if he wants to remain in contention for the title. He really do not have to lose any other game. Trust me.
Pressure.
With the way the league is poised now, he can't afford to drop any more points if he has to make a stake for that title. Yeah. You may argue that it doesn't matter who scores the goal. Yeah, I agree with that. But anyhow, they want to score the goals and win the game. They should just nick it and move on. Yeah, but yeah,
What's your prediction?
He's in a better position to win this game.
This game.
Coming from
West Ham is winless in 5 games. Arsenal has won the last 3. Do you think, including 3-1 against Liverpool last time out, do you think Arsenal will come home with 3 points, or do you have any prediction?
It's a banana skin. I agree with Jude 100%. Anyhow, at this point, realistically, Arsenal cannot sit and say, "Hey, we don't have that striker that Liverpool and City have." Right? You make do with what you have. However, you want to score the goal. If you want to use your hand and put it in the net, let's do it and beat West Ham. The stats you just mentioned shows that it's a very tricky game. You're coming from the high of a win against Liverpool, coming against a team that is supposedly in bad form. You need to stay on it. Stay on it. Forget about the Liverpool win, and get that win against West Ham. And I think Arsenal are capable of doing that.
Okay, guys, thank you for stopping by today. Our viewers out there, you've heard it from the guys, and the majority here, we expect that Arsenal will win this one and continue their run. And they have shown that they can do this both this season and season before, that they can come back from difficult times and put together a run. This is one of them. And this is, I think Liverpool and the City also have some tricky games coming up. So Arsenal will need 3 points from this one to stay in contention. I believe it's still very possible for Arsenal to win this league. And they can. Will they win it? Nobody knows. Of course, this is now officially a 3-horse race between Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. City has shown some deficiencies this season. They went 6 games where they won just one when Rodri was having his patch of run of red cards. We don't know if that will come back in the season, though they have welcome back Kevin De Bruyne, a genius in the midfield. Haaland is back as well. So, but these 3 teams have to almost be perfect from now to the end of the season to give themselves a chance of lifting the trophy. The club, we know, will leave in Liverpool at the end of the season. I don't know if that adds pressure to the players or gives them more motivation to win for the coach. We'll find out at the end of the season. So let us know what you think in the comment section as we look forward to this weekend. We have very important games. And don't forget, the AFCON finals comes on Sunday. After the Arsenal game, the Nigerian fans out there, please don't forget to watch that game. We will come back to the studio and close our AFCON coverage on Monday to review that game. And hopefully Nigeria would have lifted the trophy by that time, and it will be a joyous Monday for us as Nigerians and Nigerian fans right here. So it's good to see you guys, and we look forward to having a joyous weekend and a good review of the weekend on Monday. Thank you guys for stopping by, and ciao.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everyone.